Hey, welcome back, everybody.
This is Char and Dave, episode 3. This is Dave.
And this is Char, and we are talking CBD.
We are talking CBD.
So we have a really interesting topic again. We're going to talk about 6 things that you want to look for when you're trying to decide about your CBD product.
That's right. A lot of products out there. There's a lot of products out there. We're actually in California, and you can imagine the market is saturated with different products.
Yeah.
Some of them good, some of them great, and some of them not so good.
Some of them truck stop products, right?
Some of them toxic. Some of them include chemicals. Our bodies, in my opinion, were not made to handle chemicals. We are able to fight infections. We are able to fight disease. I just don't believe that we're really equipped to handle chemicals.
That's right. And so the first thing we're going to look for is quality, right?
Quality.
Okay, so in quality, how are you going to find out what the quality is?
Read your labels, folks. Read your labels. That's the best advice we can give you, is read those labels.
And what do you want to see or not see?
What I want to look for, I want it to be organic product.
Good.
I want it to be tested by a third party. I don't want the same person that is growing or the same person that is bottling to be the person that's testing.
That's good.
I want the carrier oil for me. I just feel it should be hemp seed oil because it should be in the same family of plant as the CBD, the cannabidiol that's being extracted.
That makes a lot of sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So what are some of the other oils, or what is one of the main oils that you see out there?
I've seen olive oil. I've seen coconut oil.
Water.
Water.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen additives of dextrose and different sugars, and I'm not willing to take or even try that product. I want specifically cannabidiol, and I want it organic. I want it to have the carrier oil, and I actually like the flavor. Cinnamon is a little spicy for me. It tastes like maybe those little toothpicks. You know those little cinnamon toothpicks?
Yeah,
I used to get them as a kid.
I do.
I like the peppermint a lot. It's very much like a mild breath mint. So I've also tried the natural flavor, and that's also fine. And I wanted my product to have as minimal of ingredients as possible. That's what I'm looking for.
That's good. That's good advice. You know, when you take a look at some of these different CBD products too, you can tell just by looking at them because they're not the color of the CBD, the hemp plant anymore. Yeah. They're not clear. So you can just tell by looking at it that it's just got all kinds of juju in it, right?
I just can't.
Yeah, so you don't want to do that. So the next thing we're going to talk about is the extraction method. The extraction method is basically how do you get the good quality products, the cannabinoids, I know, the cannabinoids out of the plant. And we use, in our product that we choose, the CO2 method of extraction. So as soon as we get that plant picked, it's in a bag, it's sealed up, and it's cold. So the thing retains all of its quality, all of its products in the plant are still there. We get it there and we expose it to CO2, and that CO2 is how we extract all the good things from the plant, and we use the entire plant. Some of the other methods are things like ethanol, alcohol, and some other things like that. And they do a little bit of damage to the plant, or they take away some of the different things, and sometimes they leave product in the plant, in the oil too.
Doesn't that do damage to our bodies?
Well, I think that's not going to do as much good for the body, that's for sure. But you know, as long as it's a good food product, I don't know how much damage it's going to do, depending on what they add to it. But it's just not going to, the CBD is not going to be as strong, it's not going to be as good if it's not a CO2 extraction method.
That's right.
So you want to use the CO2 extraction method. And that's usually something, if you don't see it on the label, you probably won't, but you can take a look online and you can find out what the extraction method is for the product that you're buying.
That's right.
I don't know how many people I've talked to, they're saying, well, I get a little bit of results, it doesn't really help me that much. I said, well, what product are you using? Oh, it's the one I got at the truck stop. Oh, it's the one I got at the cigarette store. It's something I'm vaping, and it's just, and vaping gets it into you really fast, but the thing is, if you're putting junk into you, it doesn't matter how you put it into you.
And cost doesn't necessarily define quality. I've had people come and say, well, it was really expensive, you should try it. And I look at the ingredients and I'm not impressed. And I don't do a whole lot of what I don't want to do, especially today.
I know that about you.
I know that about me too.
I know. Okay.
Number three, check reviews. you want to do your homework, do your due diligence. Make sure that the product that you're looking, what I do, I actually search term cannabidiol scam, or I search term a company and the word scam. I use my search terms to try to find, maybe debunk what I'm looking into, and then I go and I look for the positives. A lot of times you find something that you stumble across something that you otherwise wouldn't. So
One of the
check
big
reviews.
I'm sorry. One of the big scams that I see is when you see a review on products and you find out that the person that's reviewing the product is actually representing another product. That's kind of like when you take a look at, okay, you do a great big huge survey or a study on a product, and through it you get one of these big universities to do it, and you find out, for example, let's say it's on the tobacco products and it was sponsored by a tobacco company. Well, that's going to be a conflict of interest, and so you don't know if you're going to be able to trust what's going to come out there in their recommendations in the end. So always take a look at that and make sure that you're seeing who is posting that. Is it a CBD company that's posting all of those things? Because if it is, you want to have a third-party person doing the inspections, and those are the people that should be giving you your recommendations to.
That's right. What about number 4?
Number 4 is the serving suggestions. Char hardly uses anything, and she just gets all of these just amazing results. Her life has just changed around with, what are you using, 8 drops twice a day?
I've actually, I probably do 8 to 10 drops 3 times a day. So
Okay.
I do it in the morning. It's pretty much the first thing I do. I wake up and I take it in the dark, actually, my CBD. And then I go and get myself ready for my day. And then I try to wait to even brush my teeth. So I'm taking my shower and I'm letting that CBD kind of get into me. So I do that first thing. And then on my lunch hour, I have my lunch and then I take my second dose. And then before I go to bed, I take about 8 to 10 drops a serving, and that works for me, and I don't feel pain. And he's been my chiropractor for almost 20 years, and my back is not the prettiest back, and I've been in a lot of pain, and I can honestly say I don't live in pain. I don't, not anymore.
I just wanted you to get the full effect of that. That's why I was waiting for her to finish, because it's just, to see the changes that I've seen in her since she started using the CBD are just amazing. And so whenever I need to have a testimonial, just for a good shot in the arm, I just remember what I've seen her go through. And she's been one of my friends and patients for, like she said, almost 20 years, and to watch the change that I've seen her go through is just amazing. And you're going to see that too. You'll see it in yourself, you'll see it in your friends. It's just that much. This is really, a lot of people talk about this being a medicine or something like that. It's not. It's a superfood. It really is. It's a food product that you're going to be taking into your body. It's not something that's man-made, and nobody dies when you take this. And so if you take a look at some of these drugs that people are taking, almost every single one of them, the reason they're regulated is because they have the potential to either make you extremely sick, do some extreme damage, not the least of which is death. Well, with this one, you're not going to have to worry about all of that stuff. So that's really important. So I bring that up at this point in time because I want you to know that the chances of you overdosing on this are really, really slim. On the other hand, you don't want to just go drinking a bottle of this stuff either. So when you get it, take a look at it, read the labels, and read the information. You can look at it online, find out what your dosage should be. Talk to the person that you purchased it from. Ask them to give you some help with dosage as well. And you'll get some ideas and you get some suggestions. And
what I can say to just add to that is everyone is different. And this is a food, it's not a medicine, so there is no prescribed dosage. But I know that the recommended dosage is about 20 drops. So for me, I started with 5. Now I'm up to 10. And it's my balance. My doctor is well aware that I'm off of my prescription meds.
She's off her meds.
I'm off my drugs. Thank God I'm off of those drugs they prescribed me.
That's usually a scary thing, but now it's like, it's really a delightful thing.
It's kind of a joke. He jokes with me about me being off my meds. And that's okay, because I'm off my meds.
Yeah, and we're glad she is too.
All right, so number 5.
Gimmicks. So there's a lot of stuff out there that's going on with marketing, and we see that going on out there. And I'm not going to sit there and attack anybody or anything like that, but I want you to know that if you see something to where they're just splashing stuff and they're just putting it all over the front of their truck stop place, or something like that, all these different places where they have it all with all kind of weird advertising, they use some of the more sophisticated things use words like nanotechnology. Now, that's a real thing, nanotechnology, but don't be fooled about it. Is that going to really make this a better product for you? Because there's really not a lot of science backing that up. They try to say that there is, but that's not necessarily true. They use things like liposomal carrier molecules and things like that, and that's a real thing. Is that going to make this a better product? I don't know that it is or not, but you're going to have to find out that yourself. Actually, I have my own opinions on it, but I want you to make your own decisions. I want you to look it up and find out. And there's all kinds of things out there, but when you start hearing buzzwords or brand new words,
those big words that you have to look up to try to understand.
There's a reason why people use those words, and that's to fool us. And we're all being marketed all the time. So make sure that you understand what's going on and don't be fooled, and don't be, what's that word that I wanted to use earlier? Don't be, just don't be fooled.
Don't be fooled.
Yeah.
Don't be fooled. So number 6, let's go with, I completely agree with this. You want a full spectrum CBD oil. You want all of the cannabinoids to be, your receptors to be able to absorb all of the cannabinoids as they can.
Yeah.
So we have what's called an endocannabinoid system within our body, similar to the central nervous system or our endocrine system. And it's not a big word, it's a real thing. Look it up.
That's
Google
a big word.
terms. It is a
It's
big
a nice
word.
big word.
And it's a word that we only understood that we had this system in the 90s.
It's not a marketing word though. It's part of our body.
It's real, and we have more endocannabinoid receptors than we have any other receptor in our body.
That's big, right?
That's trillions. We need this supplement, everyone. We need it. I don't care where you get it from. Just make sure that you're getting the right, clean, full spectrum product. Look for organic. Look for minimal ingredients.
There is one time when you don't want full spectrum. Full spectrum, by the way, means that it's going to have just a trace amount of THC in there. And the reason that's in there is because it creates what they call, it's a synergistic effect. And it's going to help all the other molecules in there do their job better. It's kind of like if you take multiple vitamins, but you eat an apple at the same time, now all of a sudden those multiple vitamins are going to be stronger because of all of the phytonutrients inside that apple helping everything work together. So sometimes though, if you're going to be worried, for example, that you're going to be drug tested at work or something like that, there's a possibility, just a good possibility, it's going to show up on a drug screen. Now there's so little of it, sometimes it will pass a lot of drug screens, but you don't want to take that chance because the good ones are going to find it. They're going to find that THC in there. And so what you want to do is you want to use a THC-free product. Now, some companies only sell THC-free products because they are afraid of that, but the idea is we like to have that entourage effect, that synergistic effect where that THC actually carries it in, makes it more powerful. But if you're going to be drug tested, use our THC-free product. It says this, you're going to get help with that too. You just won't have that in there. So that is available, and you have to look for that. So,
let's recap. Quality, the extraction method, check reviews, don't be fooled by gimmicks, looking for full spectrum organic quality oils.
And the serving size too.
Serving size.
Yeah. So that's it for today. So we're looking for you to tell us what you would like us to talk about and discuss with you. We want to make sure we're here to educate and to help you and to encourage you and just to make your life better. And so if there's anything you'd like us to talk about, please let us know and we'll make sure we get a video out on that as soon as we possibly can. So make sure